Hi again, everybody. Jeremy Plonk from Horse Player Now with another Reasons to Remington. It's week 2 of the Thoroughbred season in Oklahoma City, and we're getting to 3-day racing weeks, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. First post goes back to the originally scheduled 7:30 Eastern, 6:30 local time for all the action this season at Remington Park. Now, the 3-day stand this coming week, we've got the Oklahoma Stallion Stakes in the spotlight on Friday night. But let's talk about the headliners over the course of 3 days. On Thursday night, it's a race 9 allowance where Connor's Outlaw, last year's runner-up in the Oklahoma Classic Sprint, is back in action. Friday night, it's the co-features, the Oklahoma Stallion Stakes. They'll go as races 8 and 9 on the card. 7 furlongs for the 3-year-olds, $50,000 each. The fillies up first in race number 8. And the return of Cindy Loper, last year's Oklahoma Classics winner. We'll see in her first start back this year if she can do it time after time. Yeah, I went there. As for the Colts in race number 9, no puns, but the 7 furlong feature there has How About Bob, winner of the Golden Circle Stakes at Prairie Meadows already this year, and last year was 3rd in the Oklahoma Classics Juvenile, a race won by Royal American, who will sit this one out. As for Saturday night's features, we'll look at the race 6 allowance race where last year's Don McNeil Stakes 2-3 finishers are back in a rematch. That's Nucleus and Periscope squaring off one of several allowance races on the Saturday night card. If you caught opening week's 20 races at Remington Park, the 2 nights of action, it was Lone Star Runners alone at the top. They won 12 of the 20 races, and that's not unexpected, especially with Prairie Meadows overlapping a little bit this time of year. We'll get more Iowa runners as the season unfolds. But certainly the Lone Star horses flexed their muscle opening weekend. 13 of them went favored in the 20 races. They reported home winners in 7 of 13 contests when as the favorite. No other circuit produced more than one winner. We had a couple first-time starters. Horses won from 7 different last out locales opening week. One apiece for a bunch of them. And again, a dozen winners from Lone Star Park. Now, of course, the Lone Star horses comprised almost half of the entrants opening week. We'll see that number probably watered down just a little bit, but certainly early in the meet, the horses from Lone Star, where you want to look. So who got off to a fast start at the meet last week? Let's talk jocks and trainers from the first 20 races on the season here at Remington Park. 3 wins on the week for Jose Alvarez and Ramon Vasquez. The defending leading jockey from last year, Ramon Vasquez, had all 3 of his winners on the Saturday night card. Stuart Elliott picked up a pair of wins, and he's now just 6 away from 6,000 lifetime. He could be the second jock in about a week to get the 6,000 win plateau. Javier Castellano pulled that off earlier this week at Saratoga. So Stuart Elliott certainly one to watch this week. We'll see with 6 more wins to get to that 6,000 win plateau. Another jockey note, Eric Asmussen has joined the colony here for week 2 at Remington Park. He was riding out the string at the end of the Ellis Park meeting for his father, Steve Asmussen, leading trainer here at Remington Park. Steve Asmussen won 2 races opening week, but took 13 starts to do so. Certainly not blazing by his standards here at Remington Park. Bob Young went 2 for 2 with limited starters. And Carrie Craddock, who's one of the better August trainers you're going to find here at Remington Park over the years, she went 2 for 4 to open the meet. The last 5 years at Remington Park during the month of August, Carrie Craddock trainees have won 21% of the time. We're exactly a month away from the Oklahoma Derby. Nominations for that race will close on September 9th, so still a couple weeks, but we'll see who shows up in the nominations for it. The St. Louis Derby being run this Saturday at Fairmount Park in East St. Louis, Illinois, certainly could be a race that produces yet another horse or two towards the Oklahoma Derby. And one of the local interests we have in the St. Louis Derby to keep an eye on, the Hell We Did, a horse who debuted here last year at Remington Park and won during the October portion of the meet. Debuted a winner as a 2-year-old, didn't make the Springboard Mile, but this year has run 2nd in the Iowa Derby, 2nd in the Lexington Stakes at Keeneland, and of course was 7th in the Preakness Stakes. The Hell We Did, the half-brother to Remington Park famed Senor Buscador, who won the Springboard Mile here during his 2-year-old year before going on to win about $13 million worldwide. We'll see if Senor Buscador's kid brother, the Hell We Did, has success this weekend in East St. Louis, and maybe with an eye towards the Oklahoma Derby. Another one to watch in St. Louis, Blackout Time. Grade 1 place, Arkansas Derby, 5th place finisher for trainer Kenny McPeak, a trainer not afraid to send a horse here to Remington Park. And finally, a tip of the cap to the handicappers at the Race Day Picks page, RemingtonPark.com. Randy Hare got off to a fast start at the meet. 40% winners for her. She tabbed 8 winners in the first 20 races of the meet. take the lead in the standings amongst the local handicappers. 6 wins right on our heel, though, are Jerry Schottenkirk, Richard Linehan, and Kelly O'Hara. For more, you can check out the Race Day Picks page at remingtonpark.com for handicapper selections each and every night. I'll be back next week with more Reasons to Remington. Good luck, everybody.